Hello and welcome to Roy's Retro Reviews, the retro review show where I review older games every now and then because I need filler at this point in time. Anyway, this week's game is Banjo Kazooie. So I actually did a retro review for this a long time ago, but due to video corruption, I could never actually post it. So I'm redoing it now that I have access to it on the Xbox One. Thank you, Rare Replay. Banjo Kazooie came back out in 1998 for the Nintendo 64 platform and is an action platformer. So like most of my retro reviews, I will start with my past with the game and go to my current playthrough. Yay. So I played Banjo Kazooie when a couple weeks after it came out. I went over to my friend's house and he had gotten it because by then I actually had my N64. He had the game and I just borrowed it from him. So I actually had my N64 by '98. So anyway, Banjo Kazooie is a action platformer and is very heavily influenced, in my opinion, by Mario 64. However, I think it's superior to Mario 64, and we'll get into that in the future, personally. But in the past, I also thought it was pretty much superior to Mario 64, because where Mario 64 you had your mission-based, Banjo Kazooie was all just kind of a open playground to find everything. You didn't have to choose a certain mission in order to have access to a certain star. It was just you kind of explore, try to find all the puzzle pieces and all the music notes, and you had at it. I really enjoyed this game, mostly for just the challenge and exploration factor, as well as the characters. The characters, I think, are cleverly written. I love Grunty, always talking in a rhyme, Banjo being a lazy person, a lazy bear, Kazooie be kind of the wit and kind of insulting everybody and always being insulted back. It's very cleverly written, in my opinion. And I just enjoyed playing it. And eventually, I never actually did buy it because I never had money when I was, I was 98, so I'd have been 9, something like that, 9 or 10. But it's still one of those games that always stuck with me, and I've always enjoyed looking back on those times because I did always have fun memories of playing this game. So as I said earlier, I'm playing this on the Rare Replay, so this is the HD Microsoft version of Banjo Kazooie. So with that in mind, let's get into my current playthrough. So once again, Banjo Kazooie I think holds up perfectly over time. While the graphical enhancements of the HD remake do make the game prettier, I think I was playing this on an emulator. I think it still looked fine. It's just, looks like an N64 game for the most part. Gameplay-wise, I think it holds up very well. The puzzles, exploration, characters, I think still all hold up extremely well, and it's still a very fun game. It has the right combination of puzzles, exploration, and kind of action to balance itself out, so you're never really feeling like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, even though you are. There's also enough move variation and techniques that you learn in each level that keep the game moving at a good pace. While you initially start out with your basic moves, each level tends to, you start off I think with 2 or 3 per level, and then it starts getting 1, 1, 1 until you get towards the end, and then you stop getting them. The overworld map I thought was a great idea, interconnecting all the levels. Once again, very similar to Mario 64's castle, so you have Grunty's lair. What else? The difficulty of this one has also been eased a little bit because, once again, playing on the emulator, I noticed that, and even when I was remembering how to play when I was playing it, is when you died, usually you lost everything other than your jigsaw progression. So if you had 5 jigsaws, you always had 5 jigsaws, but any music notes, any Jimbos or whatever the flying birds are called, I can never remember their names. Any of those and any progression you had made on a puzzle towards getting a jigsaw was lost. You would lose all that progress when you died. In the newer version for the Xbox 360 and Xbox One, that's not the case. You do keep all your music notes, you do keep all your Jimbos, you just basically start the level over with full health and have to make up that time. I do believe you do lose progress on any puzzles you had going though. So that didn't change, but that one makes sense. But you do get to keep all your music notes until you leave the level. Once you leave the level, you have to recollect, as far as I was aware. Unless I just forgot to save or something. Anyway, but yeah, Banjo Kazooie I think holds up well over time. It's a very cleverly written game. It's very fun to play. And I think it holds. Like I said, I think it holds up great. I enjoyed every second of this, and as a new point, I've introduced this game to my almost 3-year-old daughter who loves the music and characters and just kind of the silly sounds at work. So it's great for I think smaller kids if you have them, and if you want to introduce them to a more child-friendly game. I think Banjo Kazooie is a good way to do that. And that was her, if you can hear in the background. Banjo Kazooie is a great example of how action platformers hold up well over time and it's kind of for everybody, in my opinion. Banjo Kazooie has some great music, some great characters, some great level design, very, very level design, in fact. Forgot to mention that. I always like in the past and the future, I love the world design. Nothing really ever feels the same. Anyway, and just holds up over time. It makes sense why Yooka-Laylee is being made, and why everybody keeps wanting a Banjo 3E. It's because this game is that good, and Banjo-Tooie is just as good, if not, I think, a little better than this one. I'm giving Banjo-Kazooie, obviously, a classic rating. This is one of those games that, honestly, if you haven't played, you're missing out. This is probably one of the greatest games ever created by mankind, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm kind of excited for Yooka-Laylee because it is the same people who brought that game to life. Anyway, that's it for this review. Next week is actually going to be Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I don't know when the next retro review will be, but I got my hands on Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, so be prepared for that next week. And until then, check us out on rule3.com for all our news postings, podcasts, the Let's Plays. We got Sinister's doing an XCOM Let's Play, and I'm actually putting together a Star Wars Old Republic Let's Play, chronicling our journey from 50 to 60 before the new expansion comes out. It's kind of funny. We're just kind of making fun of the game. Please, if you have time, check out our Patreon page, and if you have the funds, if you can please sub to that and donate some money. All the money goes back into the site in some way, shape, or form. First tier is at 100, and I'm going to be doing monthly giveaways with that. Otherwise, it's going to giveaways still are going to happen at this point with the money I have, but they're not going to happen like maybe once every 3 or 4 months. It depends on when I get $60 on it, and that's about every 3 months at this point. So please, if you have time, check that out. Like us on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, obviously, and that's it. So until next time, always remember to trust in the rule of 3.